Let's just get this over with. And coming in number one, it's Dogman, the first Dogman book. Probably not really much I have to say about this book. The writing is pretty good. Yeah, it is kind of simple, but it's still pretty decent. Yeah, but about the illustrations, it isn't really that great. It's way too simple, and you can tell that there are a few errors in the illustrations. But overall, this book isn't that bad. Characters like Dogman, Chief, Sarah, Petey, and those other villains are actually some pretty good villains. Dogman isn't really annoying. And you really do feel bad for him when he's being yelled at by Chief. And Chief wasn't really mean. He was just tired of Dogman being obnoxious to him. And Sarah was a good side character for this book. And as for the villains, they pretty much range from okay to decent. So yeah, that's all I have to say about this book. And coming in number two, we have Dogman Unleashed. Let me tell you this book is a huge step up from the last book. It's actually pretty amusing. The story in this book is really good. With the characters and the villains, yeah, those parts are actually pretty good. You know, these scenes with like Dogman, they're actually pretty good. And these scenes with like fake PD, I like to call what's called Fat PD, I like to call him Fake PD for some reason. And we get a new villain, which has a pretty good twist. So I'm not gonna spoil the twist for you. Just go read it yourself, and you'll see why I like it so much. Oh yeah, any other characters like Sarah, Chief, Sarah who gets more screen time than she did in the last book, and Chief was pretty good too. And then there's the funny dialogue. I actually like the dialogue in this book. It's actually pretty amusing, like I said before. Also, the illustrations got a massive upgrade from the last book. It actually looks like there was some time put into them. The illustrations will get better in the later books, trust me. So overall, this book is really great. I don't know whether to call this the best Dogman book. We'll see. And coming up at number 3, we have Dogman, A Tale of Two Kitties. Let me tell you this book is really great and a huge step up from the last 2 books. I don't really have much to say about the story. It's just fine. But as for the illustrations, I have a lot to say. Oh man, the illustrations. They are really great. And they've been upgraded again. Like the action scenes in the scenes with Flippy. Yeah, those were the best parts of the book, in my opinion. And as for the characters, for the most part, most of them, they were actually pretty great. Like Dogman, Chief, and Sarah. And as for Zuzu and Flippy, who was the best part of the entire book, mind you, they were pretty good. Petey was a pretty good antagonist. And when I say antagonist, he was also a villain. He was also pretty relatable. And I do feel bad for him because Little Petey won't shut up. But he does feel bad for him and has a pretty good scene when he sacrifices himself to save Little Petey. He doesn't want to lose Little Petey again. When as for Little Petey, well, I didn't really like him that much. He was just a little too annoying. But he's not really that annoying in this book. But the second half of the book does make up for that. When as for ADHD, well, he was pretty much just a plot device. He didn't really have a real character. But he will have a character in the 4th book. And that's what I have to say. You know, I really wish Pilkey ended the series here. Because now we have a bunch of pointless sequels that don't need to exist. Now, I know I've said my praise for these books, but that doesn't mean that they're free from criticism. First of all, why are the illustrations so bad in the 1st book? I mean, Pilkey has done this before, so there's honestly no excuse for the illustrations to look like this. Also, in the 1st and 2nd book, they mention that there's been a pet store robbery and there's been a jail escape. But when it says where, they said at the jail or at the pet store. Wait, wouldn't it be better for them to say there's been a pet store robbery where at Penelope's Pets? Wouldn't it be better to say that? Also, in the 3rd book, I have a question. Why can't he just get a new butler or get his old butler back? We saw his old butler got reverted back to normal. Also, how are the monsters not able to cut through the dental floss? Wouldn't they be strong enough to cut through the dental floss or something? How strong is that dental floss? I just need to know. Because I sure know that a monster will be able to cut through that dental floss and be able to make its way across. Also, I do have to question, what happened to Officer Knight's head? We see that it got cut off, so Where is it now? Also, where is Greg's body? What happened to all that? Okay, I'm done ranting. So overall, the first 3 books of the series is actually the best part of the series in my opinion. At least for now. So join me again next time where we talk about the next 3 books of the series. But this, everyone, is where things begin to change for the worst.